Today on The Music Reel. Hi everyone, it's Nicola Burton, I'm your host, and I've got two very special guests with me today. I've got Graham Buzz Bidstrup and I've got Dr. Mark bin Bakar. Now these are two gentlemen who are very active in Indigenous communities around Australia, and in particular they use music as their pathway to talk about health and education and everything to do with bringing people together and connecting through music. And as The Music Reel is talking to people around the world about the effects of the lockdown, I thought it would be a great time to have a conversation with these two guys and see how everything's going with them in lockdown, and also talk about what's going on out in the communities. So Mark and Buzz, welcome.
Hi, Nikki.
Yep.
It's good to see
How's
you
everybody?
both.
Yep, Buzz is looking good.
Look, I'm in Arnhem Land. My backdrop is in Bakar in Arnhem Land. I'm actually in Sydney, yeah, Mark, you're in Broome, yeah?
I'm stuck in Broome. Yep.
Stuck
And
in
you're on
Brisbane,
air,
stuck in Sydney, stuck in Broome.
Okay.
So, okay, let's start with Mark. So at the moment, so those of you who don't know, so Mark is a multi-award winning TV and radio producer. He's a musician, he's an artist manager, he's got a label, he's a comedian, he's a speaker. He pretty much does everything. And his phenomenal show, Mary G, the Queen of the Kimberley, has just, I think that was one thing that struck me when I met you in What Air, just that the engagement, the warmth of Mary G as a character. And now Mary G is working with the Western Australian government with you, producing videos for the COVID. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Well, first of all, I just want to say that all those accolades you just announced on me, I take tablets to manage it all. Excuse me, I haven't got COVID, but thank God. But look, sorry, the question again?
Well, just to talk about what you and Mary G are doing in those videos, and talk about, the reasoning behind them. Yep. And how they're actually getting out in the community.
Yeah, well, courtesy of COVID, I've been inundated with doing animation, or the voice for animation. Anyway, I didn't physically do it. And of course, those other videos, either Mary G or Mark bin Bakar, and doing radio. So despite the isolation, everybody is, in particularly Western Australia, is listening to Mary G. So Carnarvon, Geraldton, Perth, it's all going live, right through the Kimberley, right through the Pilbara. And that's what's kept me connected to our listeners. And of course, we're playing our countrymen's music. So everybody is tuned in. They want to hear their songs. They want to hear the wit of Mary G, and also being informed. And COVID-19 has given us the opportunity to not only provide important messages that is about people's safety, but stay connected through that message, because everyone's all ears. The Kimberley had about 19 cases of COVID-19 infections, and none of them were Aboriginal. So Aboriginal people head for the hills. So they did take it seriously, and that's a courtesy of the Kimberley Aboriginal Medical Services Council as well, because they were the first ones to lead the charge to introduce closing boundaries or borders, and the Kimberley was one of the first ones that did it, and the rest of the states all followed them. So I think... yeah, and it wasn't for that. I think it could have been much more serious. Mind you, I haven't heard of much Aboriginal people across the country, so who's been, affected by COVID-19. So Mary G goes live into Cairns, into Townsville, and also streamed on the internet. So every radio station has a streaming element, so people can access it if they don't have access to a radio station. So all of that has kind of allowed me to just continue as normal. The only difference is I haven't been able to perform as Mary G, but that's good as performing, isn't it?
It is. Now, Buzz,
yes.
a very familiar face in our industry. So you have been obviously producer, writer, speaker, musician for a very, very long time. So what, 4 decades now? And you.
Oh yeah, about that.
And you're
Juggler. I'm a juggler.
So you're the CEO of the Uncle Jimmy Thumbs Up organisation, and
Yeah.
you're using music as a pathway to help the Indigenous communities. You were supposed to be out there when the virus hit. You were about to go out there?
Yeah, absolutely. I should be there right now, and I would have been there a bit earlier. I'm in the middle of organising a program in partnership with 2 store groups, which is ALPA and Arnhem Land Progress Association and Outback Stores, for new signage to go into all of the stores. So our signage has been there for 10 years so far. The Uncle Jimmy, thumbs up, good tucker, long life. It's been there for about 10 years. And now we're getting a whole suite of new signage and some signage about, having too much sugar, and adding vegetables to other dishes and recipes and things. So it's a whole thing which would have been happening right now, except it all got closed up. So now it will happen a bit later on this year and into next year. But it's great to know that the communities actually will be opened up again very soon. I heard about June 18, I think.
Oh, that's
They're going to be opened up again in the Northern Territory anyway. And the people that I'm working with will be able to get out into the communities and start doing this promotional work. And it's all to do with our Good Tucker app, which I know I've spoken about before on your little show. So I need to find a little screenshot or something so I can say this is what the Good Tucker app does. But for anyone who's listening, it's very simple. It's just it's goodtucker.com. It's thumbsup.org.au, and you'll find the Good Tucker app, and it's free, and it helps you find healthier food. So that's what we're up to. That's what I'll be up to as soon as I can get back up there again.
Great. Well, look, this question is for both of you. So communities are going to start opening up. What do you think is going to change moving forward in terms of communities being able to get together, celebrate, and have music, which is such an important part of the community connection? What do you think will be different? And either of you jump in.
Well, I was going to say that coronavirus has been a bit of a godsend in my belief, because what it did was it's told the world, slow down, you're moving too fast. And it suits Aboriginal people perfectly, because Aboriginal people are, they're not fast-moving people, and they think and they understand and they comprehend and try and work out a way forward all the time. So I think it's been such a handy thing for us Aboriginal people. And I think also it's taught people that home is such a beautiful place. Staying home is a beautiful place. Unfortunately, some places have had, drinking has been pretty dominant, drinking alcohol. People are twiddling their thumbs, bored, so they drink grog, and of course, you know what comes after that.
Yeah.
But most people have been respectful of the fact that this thing is serious, and I think people are just waiting for the lift, but they're not in a hurry for it. I think the government talks about second wave and a third wave that we've got to be prepared for.
Right.
We just had this recent round of contaminations from this goddamn ship in Perth. So we have had 7 or 8 new contaminations locked away there. But I think Aboriginal people have taken this seriously, and I think once it's all over, I think they're going to be wanting to get out there and hang out there. And of course, we're all on standby as musicians.
Yes, yes, thank you. And Buzz, what do you think?
Well, I think, within the communities themselves, I spoke to some guys up in Milingimbi the other day, people can still play music there, within the community. So that's sort of much the same. And as Mark said, a lot of remote communities were very lucky not to get any cases. I don't think there were any in Northern Territory either, which was a remarkable thing, considering that, you know, the rest of the Border Patrol tried their very hardest to get as many people infected as possible to get around Australia through the Ruby Princess and stuff. You know, I think you know, everyone dodged a bullet there. So as far as like the rest of us go, I saw Michael Gudinski on the TV this morning saying that there wouldn't be an international tour until maybe March next year, which is probably right, because nobody will be able to afford to come and tour here if they can only have a third of a house, you know, but with social distancing and stuff. So, you know, yeah, the rest of us are going to have to wait. But I'm with you, Mark. I'm ready to go play as soon as we can.
Yeah, and Buzz, you touched on a very important point. What it has done is everybody's jamming at home. Bands
Correct.
are jamming, artists are honing their art, and you see it on Facebook, you know. So, and then there's the Saltwater Festival type, excuse me, online performances. So
Yes.
people have taken advantage of the technology, and that's been a good thing. And
Yeah.
at the end of the day, people are just jamming at home.
Yeah, and I think, you know, the wonderful thing is that people can share that, and I think there's probably a bit of a factor where people have too much of it, and there's only a certain amount of quality or certain quality that you can get to with sitting in front of a screen like that, and it reduces everybody to it's a pretty you know, blatant kind of bottom line. Everyone's sitting in front of a computer screen with a guitar. You know, you've got to be pretty damn good to cut through.
I reckon.
Absolutely.
I reckon. And I think that the both of you do such a great job out there in the community using music. I think that, like you said, Mark, people are just raring to get out of their house. So once you two get back out there again with your different programs, people might be a little bit more accommodating and be like, yes, I'm so into this, because they've missed it for so long. Creating a bit of demand, I guess. Less supply, more demand. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, go, Buzz.
No, I was just going to say, you know, for people like us that love performing in community and go into community to either work or just to get recharged, you know, because there's a certain part of that, my work that I've done for 20 years now, that there's part of me that needs that background that I've got right there, which, you know, like I say, I'm sitting in Sydney, but I've got Bakar and Arnhem Land behind me, you know, and I need some of that. I need to get out there and do it. And I know there's a lot of people that are starting to, you know, I guess with people who won't be able to go and tour overseas. So people will want to tour within Australia. There'll be a big boost in touring around Australia. Then if you get people touring around Australia, then they'll want people to entertain them. So, you know, it could be okay, you know.
I think so. And I think, and I just want to give a shout out to you, Mark. Do you want to hold up your boots? You want to hold up your boots? Mark has just been given the Dubbo Dusty Boots Award. Congratulations. It's incredible accolade. So Dubbo, next year when Mark's on the road, watch out. He's going to be coming your way. That's incredible, Mark.
I'll have to buy myself a pair of boots.
You're going to have to buy yourself a pair of boots and the hat that goes with it.
That's it. Yep.
Can you give us the background of the Dusty Boot?
Yeah.
Yes, why not? Have a smoke machine that's got yellow, red dust, you know?
Yeah.
Or light it up so that it looks like it's all dust.
No. It's a story about the story of the Dusty Boots. What does it mean? Does anyone know?
Oh. Well, look, I was surprised. I got a phone call from the organisers and said, look, you've been nominated and on a whole list of artists. And you've been nominated for your contribution to country music through your radio show, through the Mary G radio show. And I've heard of Dubbo, of course, but I've never heard of the Dusty Boot Award. And so I was quite stoked to be nominated. And but no, I haven't heard about it, but it was named after a particular artist who was big in Tamworth. And the Dubbo Country Music Festival is a spin-off, I guess, from Tamworth.
Wow. No, congratulations. And those of you who are watching on I'll be putting all the links to Mary G's show. Now, I believe you're going to be live streaming in the not so near future.
Yes, we're working on that now. I've just got to keep an eye on the dollars. We'll have to invest in it all, but I've got some good guys behind me who they want to make it happen. So I said, look, if the quality is good, and as Buzz says, and the opportunity is there, let's do it. So.
Yeah.
And everybody else, get this and download the Good Tucker app. I'll put all the details.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah, because I actually use it.
Me too.
I think it's great. So I think everyone should download this. And I think let's just stay conscious of the Indigenous communities. You know, it's been challenging for them to be locked down, even though, yes, it's been a great break. And we really look forward to when all the borders are open and you guys can get back on the road, get back to your programs, and keep using music as a pathway to helping people with health and education.
Well, one other good thing is I've been stuck in this home studio, so working on some other artists and myself. So yeah, it's disciplined me to stay in the studio.
I love it. Look, guys, I'll leave it there. Thank you so much, both of you, for your time.
It's a pleasure.
And for Buzz and everyone, please check out both of their projects. It's well worth it. Anything that supports music in this day and age with all the changes that are facing our industry, it's very well worth it. So thank you once again, boys, and I can't wait to see you next time. Take care.
No worries. Catch you later, Buzz.
Thank you so much.
Bye.